Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, January 6th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarification points. Number one, the price you see over here will be moving around and changing, and the candlestick will be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. Stock number one here, MULN. Talked about this in yesterday's video with this red line here as resistance, but you can see this morning came up here, broke that level of resistance, and then the uptrend has continued. Very, very impressive move today, and volume has increased that much more. Volume had already been heavy, but it got even heavier today. So first update comes about just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So moving forward now, 36, one of the newest areas of support. But what I would call the ideal level, when you say, Clay, you know, what makes this chart look the absolute strongest going forward? That would be if the price can stay above 38. Now, let me be very clear. If the price were to drop below 38, that doesn't mean the entire chart's epically destroyed or anything like that. But yeah, if the price could manage to stay above there, that'd be a great sign of power. But at the end of the day, as long as the price stays above that purple line, being the 50-period moving average, keyword being moving, so that line's going to move itself higher and higher. As long as the price stays above that line as a line itself moves higher and higher, then the overall trend is fully in the bull's control. Next, BLPH, and very interesting dynamic here. Yes, it had a big move up. Yes, there was this gap and trap where things got really, really ugly and nasty. But now the price has at least started to go sideways. Now, let me be very clear. And I wish I could say trading was this easy. Just because the price is pulled back, gone sideways, does not mean for sure guaranteed this is the bottom and that the price is going to go back up. My point here is, does it at least become more rational? Does it become a little bit more plausible to say, hey, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, this side or this pullback is finally over. And yeah, absolutely, that's plausible to say, given that we have some sideways price movement. Again, not guaranteed, which makes that key level of support right there at 205 in terms of levels of resistance. The main area to keep an eye on, at least in my opinion, going to be that trend line right there. So once more, are there guarantees? No, but is it plausible? Is it valid to think that if the price can come up to that trend line and get the break up through it, that break could create additional buying pressure? In my mind, that seems like a very possible outcome. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and been tracking this one, and the big dynamic going into today was you wanted to see the price stay out of this area right here, because that would imply if the price were to go down there, then the price has gone back to where it all started, down here at these lows. And you can see that earlier on in the day, it did actually start to creep into that area, but to give credit where credit's due, the bulls were able to fight back up above and get themselves up above this green line right there. So from that angle of things, yeah, maybe not the most explosive of days, but it's turning out to be healthy, and nothing has changed. 109 remains at very important level, for those reasons already discussed. Although I am going to add in a little minor level of support, because it does seem like the secondary level to keep a close eye on is going to be that 107 mark. So let me actually change the style on it just to make it a little bit different to see there. So 109, key level that you definitely want to see hold. But if that level does not quite hold up, then 107, which you can see here, has provided support on a couple occasions, worth also keeping an eye on. Next one, BBBY, and my idea behind this one for putting on the watch list is really kind of just twofold. One, it's a very, very popular stock. I mean, one of the meme stocks that, went bonkers back in the day. But the other reason why is a very well-defined level. So I assure you a bunch of people have drawn that trend line right there. So I'm not trying to press you, not trying to imply that that's a great discovery or anything like that. I assure you a lot of people have made that trend line. And I say that because when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So like I said, no guarantees, but it's certainly plausible to think that if the price comes up to that level and can get a break up through it, that break in and of itself could create quite a bit of upwards buying pressure. So you combine the idea of a self-fulfilling prophecy with the fact that this is a very popular stock, a very well-known stock, then, it just creates a very interesting dynamic. And that's the whole idea of a watch list anyways, to find unique, to find interesting dynamics and not randomly rush out and buy stuff, but to watch it and see what happens. So if you like these sort of setups on well-known stocks that have gotten beat down, that have well-defined breakout points, then keep an eye on it. Next one, AMC, and this one had the rough day in the sense that it is, unlike Tesla, remember Tesla talking about, not wanting the price going back to where it was. Well, AMC is once again back inside of this range right here. Now, has it gone totally back to the ultimate lows? It has not, but overall, it seems to be sinking downwards lower here, so we'll continue to track it. And first update here that now needs to be done is just based on the foundational rule that when levels of support are broken, they tend to act as resistance, and that's already played out several times today. You can see once, twice, 3 times the price has tried to break back up above $4 and has not been able to do it. So $4 is that main area of resistance in the near term. As far as supports are concerned, definitely the must-hold level down there at 380. If that were to be tested and then fail, that would literally be putting the price at lows that have not been seen for years upon years. So we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, overall, not a good day for AMC. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online training that I'm offering. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool and how it can and should be used to build consistency, then definitely get signed up for the free training. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching on my site, there's an area right there on the webpage. Now, one special note, because it's genuinely a live class, I get it if you're like me. I have 5 kids, so if you have something on your schedule already, then that's okay. Drop me an email. I'd be happy to send you a link. Or maybe you're watching this Friday morning and you flat out missed it. Again, go ahead, send me an email, and I would be happy to send you a link to it. All I ask is, because it's a live event, the event does first need to happen, then I got to get it uploaded, and then I'd be happy to send you a link to that recording. So like I said, if you can't make it live, send me an email. But if you can make it live, definitely get signed up, and I'll see you here in just a few hours. Next, HKD, beautiful move today, big one. It's been a big mover from the past. Now we have a nice setup here headed into Friday. So key level of resistance right up there at 34.50. And then as far as the bottom part of this pattern is concerned, you have that area right there. Let me change that to green to represent more so the bullish part of the pattern. And then maybe to make this easier to see, let's just make it all one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support. We have the big momentum move right here. For you golfers out there, we'll make it a little bit more visual. Let's put the golf hole down here, and we have ourselves a bull pennant pattern. And this is why I like to do these when the market's still open, because you can see as I speak, this thing is making a nice move and getting closer and closer to that breakout point, which definitely is putting it in play for Friday. So it'll be interesting to see if the bulls can get the breakout. Next one, ABVC, and this follows the lines of BBBY in the sense of there's a very well-defined level that you got to think a lot of people are going to be watching. So got to think a lot of people have drawn that trend line right there. But I will say the one difference here is that this is by no means a well-known stock. In fact, I don't know if I've ever even heard of this one, unlike BBBY, where, yeah, a lot of people have heard of that one. But to counterbalance that is BBBY was in a downtrend already. But this one's actually in an uptrend given the big gap up here. Now, yes, right now, temporarily, it's in this downtrend. But overall, it is still in a bullish context because of that gap up. Now, I realize that if you're a day trader and you bought right here and your plan was to buy and sell within 10 minutes, well, then yes, from that angle, not bullish. But from a bigger picture point of view, given the nature of, how there was a gap up and how it's now pulling back, it does, like I said, help counterbalance the fact that this is not a well-known stock. So same general idea with just those couple differences. Next, AMTD, and we have ourselves another solid pattern here. So for you pattern players out there, this is one that I'd say keep an eye on. So we have our key top of the pattern breakout point area right there at $2.30. As far as supports are concerned, you have this general area right there. So as I've done, let's change that to green to represent support. And then as far as the overall pattern, resistance, support, nice move there. A golf hole down here. We have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So if you like to play bull pennants, if you like to play stocks down below $5, here you go. Next one, AAPL Apple. And what's interesting on this one is, again, self-fulfilling prophecy. So this is not a great discovery, and I've already done this, so you got to think a lot of other traders have. But I've talked about that green line right there as support before. And last time I talked about it, so congratulations to anybody that took that trade, because you did indeed get a very nice bounce. But now that the price is coming back down, it does bring about a valid question of, hey, could this thing repeat history? Do we get another bounce here? Once more, no guarantee. So maybe the price comes down here and just blasts down through it. That's why risk management matters. But given that it has happened before, it's not irrational to think that, well, maybe it decides to bounce once again. So if you like to play these situations where you're buying supports and looking for bounces, then Apple presents an interesting situation down here around the 124 mark. In terms of levels of resistance, like a lot of these other stocks, we're now getting the ability to draw some very well-defined trend lines. I mean, check that out. Perfect bounce off, perfect bounce off, perfect bounce off there again. So if you like to play more so potential reversals, then right there is a trend line to watch, to keep an eye on as a potential self-fulfilling prophecy break, or maybe some sort of self-fulfilling prophecy bounce down there. Next, TQQQ, which is an ETF that follows the NASDAQ, and if the NASDAQ market rises, then this one will also rise. It just allows you access at a much lower price point, which makes it very popular. And yeah, today, along with the lines of the others, This has fallen back inside of this range where it previously was right here. Now, I guess to look at the glass as half full, at least it's still in just the upper part of the range as opposed to being down here at the bottom part of the range. But it is still now back below in this area. And any sort of further movement in the downwards direction here just puts it closer and closer to that $16 mark. And if 16 fails, then what that is essentially saying is that the price is now down at lows that have not been seen for a very, very long time. So yes, looking very shaky here. Looking like there's a very real chance it could go down now and test that $16 mark. But we'll see what happens with it. If it does, then I wouldn't blame you at all. I think maybe some sort of bounce. But as always, risk management, just in case it doesn't bounce. But yeah, right now things are starting to look very, very shaky as the price continues to work back downwards. As far as levels of resistance, yes, you have this overall level up here. But it's not really relevant right now. So I don't want to say it doesn't matter because it does, just not relevant. But in the near term, you're going to want to watch that purple line there, 50 period moving average, right now valued at 16. Let's just call it 80. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here, then definitely get signed up for the free training. It'll be this evening, Thursday, January 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. But also, like I said, if you already have something on your schedule or you just flat out missed it because you're watching this Friday morning, then the event will be recorded. So go ahead, drop me an email to clay@claytrader.com, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the recording. Again, like I said, it will genuinely be live. So the event first needs to happen, then I'll need a little bit to get it uploaded. But after that, I'd be happy to send you a link directly to it. But if you can make it live, then definitely get signed up, and I'll see you in a few hours. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do two things for me. Hit the like button, leave a simple comment, tell me what you traded today, tell me what you're watching tomorrow. Those two things communicate to me that you enjoy. They help out the channel, and I really do appreciate it. And as long as I know people are enjoying, I'll continue to put in the time and effort to get these top 10 lists put together. So thanks for watching. Get signed up for that free training or just drop me an email.